4.7 Asempa FM Suni and when I say Asubi ready Ekosiisen dwumedie no ebremo. It's a fantastic Tuesday afternoon, the 12th day of January 2021. Media Saibon, so from Obi so I speak on behalf of the best production team in town, a team led by Dominic Kisi Yaboa, Nana Chumberema Jackson Osei in Tiamoa, Yewo Eric Opari DJ Yeyo, and a Queen Star Japan. And you know, I boy Chidomi at the Ekosiisen dwumedie no ebremo. 25 minutes after 2, live on Asempa FM. The show is live on over a dozen affiliates here in Ghana, from Tamale to BBNE stations. I hold do if I in dwumedie live. Yeda munyina asema munyina akwa babio eba Ekosiisen dwumedie so yet another afternoon, and we are proud to serve you on Ghana's biggest and the most authoritative political, social, current affairs talk show, the GJA's Political Program of the Year 2019 and the CIMG Radio Program of the Year 2018, Ekosiisen, live on Asempa FM, all talk all day. Yatna see 6:30 p.m. near the Jumedi Neighbor. It's 4 hours 30 minutes of prime time radio. I'm in fancy as from come my here kwabena sante bibia obia ye chia ene awie. Let's get down to business, shall we? And then sembebre na gu apono so I was here na yedi ho enkomo. And on him say so far, I mean after the swearing in of the president, conversation in around who will become minister for Ministry A or Ministry B. So far there was some ministers are acting in the system at the moment. Inti you better come about, list a bar from left, right, center, but you can trust us. The concrete information will Ekosiisen dwumedie. So this is the list netoha na unim se conk. Enra yebobo bi ema moa and ye bedin komo, but still fallout from the course so parliament. I mean, the CE between members of parliament, it be Asian ballot papers, it be CZ ballot boxes, and sensem bebre. Still our conversation ego. So, but one critical thing is see as on my and was seeing the free so the involvement of the military in their course so in parliament komoa was see a jimre na yitumi edi because ye kom ho and 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it might come back to haunt us. Inti yebedi sound common about and one of the names are a bar up in the melee I also in parliament, Honorable John Jinapor, member of parliament for Ekosiisen constituency, and he's our guest on the show, NDC MP for the Ekosiisen constituency. You know, ebidin komo exclusive one-on-one interview with him. Now I shared the course so in parliament and going forward, 8th parliament, saying Anioma is shaping up. Mamin fast down so Emma Yaboa for your Agbeve Herbal Center, the Mona soap and a Mona cream, Abajaso, and Ponsa Ifa Pharmaceuticals, Obapa Company Limited, Yawa Ecobank Ghana, 21st Century Clinic, Bell Aqua, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil, and Napa Foods, Franco Trading Enterprise, Bell Aqua Active, and a TCL The Creative Life. But Ansan Yene John Jinapor ABD and Komono will be speaking with his younger brother, Ono in the former Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana and currently a member of Parliament for the Damongo constituency. Inti Samuel Abu Jinapor Yanino ABD and Komo, and then Yanini will be speaking to John Jinapor as well, a senior brother, brothers in parliament. In the Ebedi Sam Community in area, Ekosiisen dwumedie no esomunsha and somayen. Join us on all our interactive platforms on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. Here, Facebook, search for Asempa 94.7 FM on Facebook. Like our page and watch our live stream in here in Papa. Like the page, watch the live stream, and share the stream. Now you are so be and share. Say Oko YouTuber, your channel on YouTube, Asempa 94.7 FM. We are streaming live on YouTube as well. And no ubetimi ahwɛ ewo YouTube. Very, very, very important. Yeah, WhatsApp line 0546 382 287 0546 382 287. For messages na brain na yenhwe enkan. Already some messages coming through. Yebesha kan ede amama enra mo bekaya may the list be etudwa say the following people will be ministers. I told you, of course, you go over a list of best performing ministers and deputy ministers for last year, facts, investigative research, and so the CEOs of state agencies no eka ho did some analysis ye be we na me the list we etudwa say, and take note say these names no would be in the next government as ministers, deputy ministers and all of that. Enti Mustafa Yusuf, MP Yagba Kubori, ono a former National Service Scheme Executive Director, Frida Prempe, Matthew Opoku Prempe, Alan Tremanten, Dr. Yawosei Educhum, Dr. Mohammed Awal, Cynthia Morrison, Akoto Efriye Osei, the president's friend, Jean-Pierre Ameou, Tina Mensa, Obi Amoa, Sarah Joasafo, Kojo Pong Kroma, Esla Owusu Ekufor, Isaac Esiama, and Honorable Kweku Esiama, the transport minister, former. Expect him in the next government as well. Samuel Abu Jinapor, and Asenso Boache, MP for Bantama, Dominic Nitiwol, MP for Bimbila. Ensemble, Enti Ekosiisen on the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. But of course, I mean, one other thing and so eba up the position of chief of staff, and also very, very important position, and who occupies the position of chief of staff. Very important. I mean, former deputy chief of staff and currently a member of parliament for the Damongo constituency, Samuel Abu Jinapor. Honorable Akwabana, apom to saying. Great. Congratulations and so.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Oko into that race. I remember Samene Obra Edi in Komo some months before the election. Now Okase or no, as a member of the NDC, he has no option than to support Mutawakilo for that constituency. Oko into the race, no? Was there a point I would not doubt to be said, Anjana Diam Dimitia Koshemi, Anjana Nye?
Oh, about what dear say, did come and share with you for Michelle Bia. Na sebi about what dear, why wouldn't see me about what Tibiano? See, and Kaya Banivia, untimi, and see so between Kunin. And T. Namo, I wish him, I would say. A Jumana Mayo constituency honor, woman say MPP and Ninkunimo Hoda, and then President Mahamaso honor free, and then a honky kahunina. Then Sunam would you say, Namebetcher to me. Now, was there a point in the campaign I felt, say, then I'm doing Hakoshimi? There was no such point. But about was, no matter how confident you are, and they until the last ballot is counted, you cannot be sure. So that was the same attitude I had.
For you, then Albekase worked for you. What worked for you in the Damongo constituency?
Ejumadin, yeah, one of Sebi. Damongo 2012, Damongo constituency, no. MPP Timin Dinkunimo, CBI to Abanibia. Fabra na ye Damango da boya krano from 2008 in Timindin Kunimo ho. And Oshe votes no kra ye koto ye na presidential, even though we closed the gap significantly. nonetheless, the NDC presidential candidate won the presidential vote. So it's not a place where you would say NPP will win any day. Then so me shall see them. Anna me bomb home what so say omubinya aban home for so any kakra me smith my piano me o man penye adwuma so ye no me gidi say ehun susanso papa no doors wo stream ho wo share plans for food and jobs fertilizer or home extension services or home amine boy kuyafo ni na any na boy and share political work ekuma house to house working, talking to the people, engendering confidence and so on and so forth.
Wow. And not gap no between one Mutawakilu, you're saying?
Well, Mutawakilu in 2016 won with a margin of 2,000 plus.
Okay.
And this time around, we closed that margin of 2,000 plus and won with almost 3,000 votes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's really interesting. And who close to 2,000, I was saying be a gap of 3,000 between one or no? Wow. Then you should have done some real hard work on the ground. That Mongo constituency in this song.
Oh, water population is about 35,000.
Oh, 35,000.
Yeah, but the landmass. Savannah is the biggest region in Ghana. Even Savannah and I are the northern region.
Yeah.
The biggest region in terms of landmass. Savannah and Muchi. It is all free. One end, Kujokura, sell the quarter other and say, yeah. To take you almost 1.5 hours. A good road. A move to
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, but at least voter population in India, it makes it a manageable constituency for a member of parliament.
Quite manageable, comparatively. Would you compare a honorable address for more? Oh,
the any manageable. Exactly. Yes. Now we are MP elect until the midnight of 7th, and you swear in the 8th Parliament. Of course, Ura Parliament House, Nenyoma ACC, you know, was that what you expected? Yes, him say, I close 137, one independent candidate, stakes were high, but the C, you know, the now will share him.
There be. First day in Parliament, they na say, I'm not worshiping. Na, me imagine they say, in the end, you know. And
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Etimi e prevail ama yetimi speaker. Na nipa na nya speaker na so no. Ghana ha obi afeje tum say obi a say why year public service ache why year adwuma parliament on kwa what now be 28 years. What time was minority leader, majority leader, second deputy speaker. So he's a man of considerable experience. And even though he's a member of the NDC, everybody knows that Right Honorable Babin is a man of enormous stature. And he,
Asempa FM.
Yeah, they are set up a man. Now, me give this penny for more Breshebijum Wabeshe Kwaya on Wefaswa near Seas, not Sadano, NCB. Say, Chan Quine in China Quine. Parliament in Bob Blues there, saying the Halabraka.
Yeah.
And then so, and yes, Abanisa, and he did this speaker for Friday, and they form more parliament or measure point on bed to Nona. Am I actually be no and be sensitive?
Sisi ano said the swearing in a president inauguration akoso any BBI the country has a precedent, albeit being challenged at the Supreme Court in the Supreme Court na Ebeka. But one other thing as is here focus akoso forming the next government already say ministers should act in their ministries. Ama and also raising a huge legal debate out there. We are lawyer ni understanding of the law and the ministers are acting in their ministries now.
But why should there be a huge debate? First of all, the arrangement is temporary. They say nature abhors vacuum, and governance will also abhor vacuum. And number two, when nearly the Kaya is Sida, Amampania Bako, Omaye BBC da. Okay, President Kufoba, Oye Shishin, Enona, or the Tohua Sana, or be in ministers of local vetting, near swim in President John Evans Tamils, a president in 2009. Oye Nipa, Amomusi, and Naimu Ewo Ministries. Menkai,
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Togbe Afedi,
Moses Asagana.
Moses Asaga.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a 3-member committee that then President Mills, nominated to be the representatives of the president at the Ministry of Finance. That's a recent history that we all can refer to in Ghana. President Mills Baye Omanpeni Oye Sa arrangement say Togbe Afedene Moses Asaga should be represented in finance and several other ministries Oye Sa arrangement. I think it's Article 52 or so, which vests executive powers in the president. And those executive powers, the president can delegate them. Although the same constitution says they should be ministers of state. So to the extent, say, permanent arrangements, no. It is within the president's power, executive power, to delegate the executive power vested in him by the constitution, so that there wouldn't be vacuum. I'm not sure there should be any hue and cry about it.
Yeah, but so the basis for Ono and Meka Ono Meka Haruna Idrisu, the former minority leader in the 7th Parliament, is here leader of the NDC caucus in Parliament, or say, and I quote him, in the Ghana Web story, Nokase, citing a Supreme Court judgment, the Tamale South MP explained that in J.H. Minster versus the Attorney General in 1997, the Supreme Court ruled that there was nothing like, quote, acting or, quote, holding minister. And there is a quote in the story attributed to him, Okase, I have seen some former ministers still hold themselves about as if they are ministers. That is unlawful. That is illegal and unconstitutional. As we speak today, Ghana has no ministers. The president got it wrong. Their mandate has elapsed, and until they are nominated, go through vetting, secure approval of parliament, they cannot hold themselves out as ministers. So as far as we are concerned, there is nothing like an acting minister, and the Supreme Court does not recognize such a position. Your reaction, Mebacho?
Well, but the president has not appointed acting ministers, and nobody is holding himself out as ministers. They are representing the president at the ministries. And it's within the power of the president.
On Asempa FM.
And I've told you that Article 52 of the Constitution vests executive power in the president. He's a repository of executive power in Ghana. So it's within his right to nominate people to represent him.
In the official communication,
and not as acting ministers. They are not ministers, they are not acting as ministers. They are representing the president. And the Transitional Act itself contemplates a situation like this, where it curtails the powers of officers of state during the transition. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Legally, morally, good governance, best practices, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's actually very much desirable and in accord with the tenets of good governance that the president is organizing a situation where there will be no vacuum between when he will appoint his ministers, when they will be vetted, and when they will be sworn in.
Ma mean for terms more ebia monte, you know, the communication was for the following ministers to still be in their ministries and oversee our ministries in the interim. In the Kojo Opon Nkrumah, former information minister, Alan Kojo Tremanten, former minister of trade and industry, Ken Oforiatta, former minister of finance, Dominic Nitiwul, former defense minister, Ambrose Derry, former interior minister, Albert Kandapa, former national security minister, Haji Alima Mahama, former local government minister, and Eugene Ahin is also to act as director of communications at the presidency. Chief of staff, Akosia Frima Osei Opare. No, because I'm told, say, she's been directed to act as chief of staff. Sanity.
Hello?
Yeah. Sami, Oteminka. Yeah, na me busa say o former boss, Akosua Frema Opare has also been directed to act as chief of staff. Is that the case?
Yeah, so me former deputy chief of staff. The communication, okay. I also have to take a look at it. But whatever the situation is,
no, this is actually a GNA. Where a GNA report? It's actually a GNA report. Yes.
Whatever the situation is, the president will first of all constitute staff FM. That's the chief of staff, the deputy chief of staff, secretary to the president, secretary to the cabinet, and so on. Now, Madam Mrs. Bema
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
I was a deputy for 4 years, and I do know that she's a very diligent woman, very meticulous. Osheda ye juma otonobo and sebi will be a or to the normal or to the pepe. Nina you a fit and naya juma why FM. Ama neya menoke say or man pia so I hono yenti bas asem bia sebi kofi and say ye basa sembia da afinai. And this presidency arguably is one of the, if not the busiest presidency in the Fourth Republic. You might be pre-course on that one crisis negotiation, mobilizing the government to realize the agenda of the government. This anomaly, it was a here. No, Bapini was shed out a year to my pa and many in the year to my na Nejuma yefe. Nejuma say, kama. Na near Campy, she was up be an answer no man penino, Goni Beckham, chemistry, and I say, oh, no man penino, which is your man penino, na a Juma no moyano, the cost of one, which went to be in Sunny whom 4 years. In kind to know better, the chief was that the vice president, therefore, say, it's any sa a my wing. And now, man, you know, the Nindian, Nahoprasie, any isuling the bino. It is on thing on your man penitier and link it to dear one your man penitium. Son, the only vice president. Or my say this now. And tea, why Juma? Maybe did say 4 years, yeah, and I see Jumano. Or you'll be up of war by the pan. Now, more must himself or ye party in my mappa, why ye MP in Premium. My deputy minister or president for Bresso. And so the party liberal by Muklanon, a chair of the reconciliation committee of the party. Yes, I buy by one and be a chair of the reconciliation committee of the party. And nam ne soon buying senior tier. Very much a unifier, a reconciler, or you'll be with me, Candy Pabu. Party liberal by one and Sabe a chair of reconciliation committee. About your court to your one as I chair of the reconciliation committee. The koto abai and more year constituencies are also move a boy or no ko a baby koye campaign and nanti moi baby constituency baby to a year juma and yeah he floor members oh a broadcaster season famous broadcaster, so former deputy chief of staff, and MP for Damango.
Yeah,
they are trying on my penny. But I'll be very surprised personally. I'll be surprised if the president doesn't retain Honorable Akosua Frema say opare.
And for you no for you or more the former chief of staff should be retained as chief of staff, no, you would support that call. One kasa the other support Bema sa call.
Oh, fully. 100%. Oh, yeah, Juma. She's a very dependable woman. Extremely dependable, trust me. Juma na no, sebi. Honorable Julius Debra Mone, Honorable Kojompi, Momoa, or Mudi and Nimakono. They were test rate. Sebi, chief of staff for Juma no. Enough. 2 a.m. you can be called. Omanpenye to choir for America, UN General
Ekosiisen on
Asempa FM. Ghana, and something has to be done. And na Jofa, a bit my friend. Na so sorry. Na Oboa Omanpenye na Obumaino na Ototo Numa. Or you totally dedicated, completely dedicated.
But Sami, and yet can't say because na ye juma then naturally you'll be biased towards her. And you know ma woka de okay.
They've always been up in arms. But that's actually been the norm.
Asempa
FM. It's been the norm. Minister, deputy, chief of staff, deputy shall not pay chief of staff Nejuma. And our deputy shall not pay minister Nejuma. No undermining. No. The norm is rather for the deputies to be up in arms against their bosses, rather than say deputies should be recommending or commending or applauding them. It's normally the reverse. Why would he? Now, maybe deputy chief of staff.
Yes.
The MP. It's most unlikely that the president will say, I should go and be deputy chief of staff again, because it's normally not the practice. So, it's another matter altogether. But I'm just speaking on the experience that I had with her.
Ekosiisen on Asempa
keen
FM.
observations I made of her. So you'll be a Nenita Ho. I mean, that's what I'm saying. She's not the media type. She's not the outspoken type. I'll be who know. Baby, so or you'll be a Nenita Ho or Toto Norma. And the South of Hawaii I say 9 way. Personally, a baby wants to pass a book for us chief of
staff. Apart from Frema, say who share ne dwumadi said ye waka and meaning say before so babe deputy chief of staff na we follow Ghana ya in politics, at least in the Fourth Republic. So we share from Nana Todadze, lawyer Nana Todadze, o de ba the late J Kotanko Obechebe Lamte, Kojompianin, o de ba be share obi se Prosper Bani, o be share Martin Newman by Ansana Prosper Bani ebaye and afe the final one in the NDC. Honorable Julius Debra Ebai and Frema Pariaba. Where would you place Frema Pari? Of course, or the first woman chief of staff. The about Dia Mabuboya Ube placing away.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
That's where you begin from. Amanpanyipiani senior or Ototono normal. President
Asempa FM.
Chair. Near Tosim Yendu, chief of staff of Pian senior in Juma. Sir, be a while. Overturning cow radio so and now say. Ubian idea. Near Tosumian, sir. When chief of staff are what apart from Kojompi, Honorable Kojompi, I think, who stayed for 4 clear years. The chief of staff and I also think that
Nana Todazi also stayed for quite long. Yeah.
Yes. And chief of staff behind the senior autonomy, but the core mandate of that office is never changed. It's the same. Oh, now here the interface between the president and his government, and even the world, if you want, and the country. And Jinejumano all encompassing. Now, maybe who say, Mami, will give it true meaning to the office of chief of staff as a gatekeeper of the president, and the
Ekosiisen on Asempa
between
FM.
the president and his government and the larger world. Now, why you so meticulously and in a very calm but effective manner. Sanoti. Yes, very calm, and I'm not surprised. Sebi. A man to my yanefe. Oh, or you'll be a on no grandstanding. There will be a you will say, Mina be Ajimamina be say. Then so let you manage to the oh, yeah. San the first female chief of staff. And I think she's brought a lot of dignity to that office. And I made that point. I want to repeat it. Presidency of Akufo-Addo, a scandal there which affects the presidency itself. Say BBC, say Amampenia, so I hear BBC. 4 years. It's to her credit. It's to the credit of the president, first of all, of course, but also to the credit of the chief of staff. I think she's done a yeoman's job. She's done an excellent job. And I think we all look forward to the president retaining her.
You personally from the region, that's Savannah region, right?
Sir?
Savannah region, good. And the Savannah region constituencies, no MPs a free or you're saying? MPP were 3.
And MPP were 9.
Yeah. Ain't he a honor a wo and who are the other 2?
The other 2, Salaga North.
Okay.
And Daboya.
And Daboya. Daboya and Salaga North. Ain't he? Yes, representing the region in government, no. Say, oh, share him so man penny do besha baby me boy.
Oh, you German. Oh no, man penny you say a very experienced, astute politician and president. So I think his judgment is always the best. Maybe you're the best to be so.
Unim say
already the MP.
Yes.
You was from parliament. What the member one up and I'm an today. Say Juma be your buying money ceremony na day. Injamo man.
Unim say list Bibre Aba in the last few days I would feature prominently.
Well, that's is an honor.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
I mean, people even consider me worthy, but in the end, we leave it to the president.
Sami, Mamin Nase, Nafe, Yemfa in CBBNI, would come back and talk to you again. We wish you all the best in the 8th Parliament. And Yamio Adomna say, Omanpenyi, Ebo Din Swa, all the best. Why?
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's it. And to that, the Honorable Samuel Jinapor, MP for the Damongo constituency, on the ticket of the NPP, and Amotezi Dinkomo, former Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic, and Amotezi AD and Komo. Yaneno we in bra penyi etnase John Abudulai Jinapor, MP for Yape Kosogo constituency. That's not say. No, that's Honorable